Moving to your double whammy, item number 13, LTP funding and financial policy. Neil.
Bit of a technical item in some ways. It's just really outlining the funding and financial policies that we have to complete as part of the long-term plan. So it's a follow-on from the previous item. Probably if I just probably the background. I'll take the item as read, but I'll just go through a couple of items on the first page there. The background, number 3. Under the Local Government Act, we're required to adopt a financial strategy based on the principles of prudence and sustainability, and Council must also adopt the policies there, the revenue and financing policy, liability management and investment policy. Those two combined make up our treasury management policy, development contributions policy, the remission and postponement of rates on Maori freehold land. And we have 2 additional policies there as well, which is our emissions and rates postponement policy. They all need to get adopted as part of the long-term plan, and we will be bringing those to you as we go through the process of the long-term plan to kind of adopt those early, so that we've actually knocked things off in stages as we go through. Probably the key area in terms of this item really is the financial sustainability strategy, which is a new requirement of the Local Government Act under the TAFM legislation. We will be holding workshops on that during June to familiarise you more with that and to indeed set the strategy. We've had some initial workshops on that already. Probably the key things out of the financial sustainability strategy will be the setting of the quantified limits on rates increase, and quantified limits on borrowings. They're 3 mandatory parameters that we have to set as part of the long-term plan, and that sets the framework for the affordability of the long-term plan. So that's quite a big piece of work that we'll need to work through with you. The other policies there are basically the standard suite of policies that we've had previously in the LTCCPs, and on page 13(2), what we have is a table there which just lists out the policies, what the purpose of each of those policies are, and the legislative requirements that is wrapped around them. So I think just really, if you've got any questions, otherwise I'll take it as read.
Okay, I'll open the floor to any questions. I think really the first chapter on the very first page really explains it, certainly to myself, and it's self-explanatory, you know. The very first paragraph, purpose of the report. Help the community understand what they'll be expected to pay for, why and when they will pay. Financial strategy, Councillor Williams.
Yes, Mr. Ward, will you be supplying us with the policy, all the relevant policies listed in the funding and financial policies table here to review before we go to these workshops?
Yes, it is our intention. Absolutely. Currently those policies, with the exception of the financial sustainability strategy, really struggling with that one. Currently they sit within the LTP currently, so and it would be fair to say that probably there will be no change to the rates remission policy. Sorry, we will be suggesting no change to the rates remission policy, the rates postponement policy, the policy on remissions of Maori freehold land. There will be some tweaks to the investment and liability policies. There is some changes, and we've already workshopped the development contributions policy, and the revenue and financing policy will need to be gone through in full, and there will be some changes there, but in the main they'll be tweaks as opposed to major changes. So if you wanted to do some pre-reading, the LTCCP is a good place to start now.
The policies are contained in the existing document.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so this is only that this to be received. So the suggested resolution on 13/5. If there's no further questions, moved by Councillor Kirk and seconded Councillor Mincher. All those in favour?
Aye.